Make it make sense. How do you want us to push real emotions out on a situation you said yourself was fraudulent? Make that make sense. She wants you to have real emotions for her fake situation. If you pretending, then it shouldn't be no love lost. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's something that took place on YouTube, TikTok. I'm sorry. I'm on four different pages, right? Five different pages right now at the same time. So I'm sorry if you are not up to par with everything that's been going on YouTube. Feel free, TikTok, to go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. That is Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube. Drop a follow. We are 25 people away from 1K. So if you guys can go over there, TikTok, and drop a follow at Ralph the Wise, it will be greatly appreciated. All right. I seen that $5 donation too. I appreciate it. Um, Whoever just sent that to the Cash App. But yeah, go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. We are trying to hit 1K before the end of the day. So as many people from TikTok put themselves in operation to go drop a sub over there. A sub is free, right? So if you can go over there and drop a sub, much appreciated. We are operating on two different pages on TikTok, two different pages on YouTube, and one page on Twitch. And when I figure out Kick, we'll be operating on Kick. And we'll even go back to Facebook and start doing Facebook lives. We'll do Instagram lives. It doesn't even matter because we are in the age of knowledge and truth under the Aquarius sky. These people can't stop this wave if they wanted to. All right. So, although they sit there and try to transgress against me, guess what? All they're doing is showing themselves, right? That's all they're doing. So, it's getting bad right now for them because the more that they focus on me, the more the universe sees them for what they are, and their karma is coming back to them. Their karma is coming back to them. Their lies are catching up to them. They can't lie fast enough. You see, by operating in real time, they can't get back out in front of this. So since we came over here in December, pointing out their lies in real time, now they're trying to catch up with us. Whereas though previously they can tell you some stuff that happened a year ago, 2023, so on and so forth with those recordings that Jaguar got. But now that we're operating in real time, pointing out their lies in real time, they're playing catch up. They're trying to catch up to where we at, which is operating in real time. They can't do it. See, I know inside my vessel, time doesn't exist. Although a form of time exists outside of me, it doesn't exist inside of me. You get what I'm saying? That time, that it doesn't exist inside of me, right? So they're looking at my carnal traits and saying, damn, he would be good to have because he's intellectual, he does research, so on and so forth, and he's a masculine voice, right? So they would love for somebody like me to join them. That's the when you're ascendant master, when you know your spiritual abilities, you'll realize that the dark wants you just as much as the light wants you. Just as well as I can be a weapon for the light, I could have been a weapon for their darkness. And the darkness will love to have a weapon like me, but I don't give in to that. I stand by integrity, right? I have a spiritual discernment and a moral compass. There's a conscience inside of me that makes me question unrighteous things. You know, that's just what it is. They're not operating in goodness. They don't care about the people that's in their groups. How many times did she call somebody a B? How many times did she tell people to suck her D? If you've been sexually assaulted at the age of 13, why are you doing that? Why are you sexualizing everything? She watched a cartoon and sexualized the cartoon. At the time that that cartoon was out, you shouldn't even been thinking about that. You shouldn't been thinking about Naruto being with Sasuke. Why are you thinking about Naruto being with Sasuke? That's sick. That is sick. You thinking about boy on boy shit. That's sick. But y'all overlooked that. Y'all overlooked that. That's okay though. It just goes to show you how their mind works. I'm going to point out how these entities' mind work, and that's what they don't like. I'm pointing out their operation. I'm showing you that they're false. I'm pointing out their failed operation, right? Oh shit.
And recognize the real
Right.
consciousness energy that is possessing and using the human body. Remember, every
Yeah,
person
food
has the
and
right to live
cartoons.
and exist without being terrorized by the intimidation and bullying tactics of the anti-human consortium of the NAA. To decree the law in the presence of the fallen entity, you must state your full intent, consent, and authority to be aligned to the will of God, power of Christ to enact and enforce the universal book of the law, through the holy and true Father of God. These negative energies may surface into present view for observation in many ways, so pay attention. They exist in the NAA classification, fallen angelic hierarchy, or exist within lower classes of satanic spirit hierarchies that are controlled by these dark higher-ups in the galactic plane. The absolute key for any galactic warrior is to be fearless and command your personal space with conviction and dedication to God in your heart, as a fierce and unwavering representative of love, freedom, sovereignty, and all things that are the real virtues of the spirits of Christ. You are in effect defending our space and defending your spiritual light from parasitism, intrusion, and the forces of tyranny that exist as the Antichrist and anti-human. In the process of spiritual deliverance, it is more effective to demand the entity and spirit of servitude reveal its name to your person, when you challenge the identity in the power and authority of the Christ Spirit and in accordance to the book of the law of the Holy Father of God. If this is necessary, be commanding and extremely firm. When confronted by one of the minions of one or more of these fallen angelics hierarchies, ask loudly and in commanding tone, I challenge you in the power and name of the Christ, what is your name? Sometimes, you will need to say this repeatedly, loudly, until you get a name. Do not listen to anything else that they say, and remember they are liars and deceivers. There is no space to allow them any room. When confronted or in the presence of a member of this fallen angelic hierarchy, under no uncertain circumstances, refuse its access to your body, mind, home, children, and never allow it to have access to your energetic field. When involved in such spiritual procedures, you cannot back down. It is up to you to tell it exactly where it has to go. When you get its name, or other information that gives you the detail of its authority of origin, then immediately read it rights. For each entity you discover, you must read it your rights and call it out by its name to be transited. This procedure of spiritual deliverance can be repeated often. When you read its rights, you are delivering it from bondage in the book of the law. When you command and obey the law of one and power of Christ as your 100% authority on this planet.
Okay, after I get done, I'll take you outside. But you better not keep on bugging me.
In group research during planetary emancipation grid work using HGS sessions in collaboration with Crystal Star, we have challenged the following identities of fallen angelic hierarchies and assortment of NAA reptoid families that have treaties or design to control the Earth grid or human beings in certain demographic locations of the Earth field, in multiple dimensions.
So right now, if you are up to par with everything that's going on, they did tell us that we operate in multiple dimensions. They said, hey, Some people are down here operating in multiple dimensions, right? Drax, I just said I'll take you outside in a minute. Okay? All right? Yes. You need to chill out, my boy. Chill out. You spoiled. See how spoiled he is? He want me to hold him and scratch him. Okay, go. Then don't act spoiled then. You act like a baby, I'm gonna treat you like a baby.
Amaimon, Amzi, Behemoth, Biola, Belnato, Bethista, Bojols, Brado, Braden.
Now we can get into this. These are different.
Demons or fallen angelics are a part of the human and non-human collective consciousness on the earth and exist as Mons, are a part of the imposter spirits, may have been either a human or non-human, also comprise those separated from their souls, or discarnate spirits which have never inhabited a human body. Demons may be regarded as material corporeal beings, as they are lower spirit beings, which are not inspirited by the breath of God, nor exist in the higher celestial realms. Humans and non-humans can conjure these spirits and then become possessed by them and their material or negative nature, especially if they are not mentally clear and emotionally balanced. 2. References. HGS.
Now, when you go into this, of course, all of the things that we were taught, all of the things that we have, become to know of this verse, it might not be the same as which you think it is, right? You got to be careful. You got to be careful with dealing with these entities, right? And this goes back into the laws of self, right? If you want to look up anything, I suggest that you look up cosmic laws, laws of the cosmos, or universal laws, right? There's 12 universal laws, but inside those 12 laws, it's 12 more laws. This is where the 144 comes in. Everybody knows 12 times 12 is 144, right? So there's 12 with inside the 12. That also is inside your body, right? So through your 12 strands of DNA comes 144 harmonic chromosomes or harmonic frequencies of the body. So you have to understand these harmonic frequencies of your vessel so that way people won't play your harp, right? The harp was an instrument that literally was telling us about the 12 strings of frequencies of the vessel. And this goes back to Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack went up to the beanstalk. He had a choice of two things. One was the harp, the other one was the goose that laid the golden egg. Although they wanted to give him the harp, he didn't want that. He stole the goose that laid the golden egg, went back down this beanstalk, which is a notion of your kundalini, right? The serpent that rises inside the vessel and into the heavens, right? He came back down with material knowledge, carnal ways, which goes back to the same story of the Canaanites taking on and praising a golden calf. This story is repeated over and over again. Why? Because eventually you'll get it. That's why it's repeated over and over again. So Jack went up and he got materialistic knowledge. He came back down. In fear, he cut the beanstalk. So that's the same thing as the serpent being punished to coil or crawl on its belly. The serpent is your kundalini energy that is at the base of your spine on its belly, right? That kundalini energy is no longer punished with being at the base of your spine. So now your Kundalini is rising back up. In other words, the beanstalks are growing again. So someone has got some magic seeds. They gave up that calf, right? You hear the story right there in Jack and the Beanstalk. He sold the calf to get the magic beans that he planted that grew his beanstalk. So he gave up the material calf for a dream or a idea, right? That grew the beanstalk that led into the heavens. That's the same story that's been repeated over and over again. So once you realize that what is always was and always will be, then you'll start understanding this world a little bit greater. They tell you this same story in Goku, the story of Dragon Ball Z. This is seven Dragon Balls that's uh spaced out, and whoever gets all the seven Dragon Balls and put them back together gets to meet Shimron. Shimron happens to be a long serpent that literally goes in the sky in the figure 8, and Shimron gives you one wish after you put the seven Dragon Balls together. Well, ironically, your vessel has seven chakra systems that you must put back together. Ain't that ironic that the same story keeps on revolving over and over and over again? It's okay. It's okay. Eventually, we'll put this together. Hey, TikTok, I need about 20 more people to go over to YouTube. Go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. Drop a sub. It will be greatly appreciated. We just need 20 more people. Yes, Kundalini Rising. Um, and this is where you get in touch with your Akashic records. This is where you find your Akashic records, so on and so forth. Anybody on YouTube like to support this knowledge and wisdom? Here's the Cash App right here. Peace of God 1111 is the Cash App, and this is the PayPal that you can send it to. Um, I will be adding my email to this PayPal, but the reason why I didn't add my email to this PayPal is because I know that Jaguar, Wolf Coochie, all of them, I know what they're really doing with people's emails and stuff. They are hacking into people accounts, hacking into people Gmail accounts, right? I have got numerous firewall notifications about these people trying to hack into my accounts, right? Due to the fact that this is a business account, it is protected by different variations of firewalls. So I know that they're doing electronic transactions. I know that this fake AP technology and stuff like that, that's why they keep on trying to get people's emails. That's why they keep on saying, send me your email, right? You know how when you click on something in your email, let's say someone send you an email that says you just won $1,000 something, and you click on it thinking that you really won $1,000 something, and all of a sudden money start coming up missing out your bank account. Yeah. So that's why Ronnie Bo was getting people emails. That's why Murph was getting people emails, so on and so forth, right? This is how scammers work. They get your email, someone calls you, asks you a bunch of questions. They start asking you questions like, well, what your first dog? What was your first dog's name? Right? Because these are questions that you would ask in order to find out somebody's password, or the three questions that they ask you. You know, they ask you your mother's maiden name. You know the three questions that you pick when you made your Gmail account or whatever, right? So these are the things that they do. First, they get your email, and then they start acting like they're trying to get to know you, but really they're trying to find out what your password can be. They're trying to find out, yes, your pet name, so on and so forth, right? This is the stuff that they're trying to do. So These people are not operating differently. They're operating the same that they always do. This is why they always say, well, send me an email. Well, send me an email. Murph tried to get me to email him. Murph tried to get me to email him. That's why I said I'm already ahead of y'all. I know what you're trying to do. This is why Ben said this. They know I'm pointing this stuff out, and that's why they're trying to get me out the way. That's why all of a sudden it's a he's this, he's that. They don't want nobody to come over here and get the truth. They don't want people to come over and email Murph. I'm 20 steps ahead of you already. You only dropped your email so I can try to send you an email so then you can try to make it seem like somebody was hacking into your stuff. Because now that y'all know the feds is watching y'all want to try to deflect and put all the crimes that y'all was committing on somebody else. The fact that y'all been hacking into people's accounts, using their email, ain't that why Ronnie Bo asked for everybody to send him an email or do that text now number shit, right? Everybody knows that scammers use your email and then small variations of information, right? So y'all are on here looking to get to know people so y'all can scam. The screen not popping up again? Hold on. Sorry. Scam them. Nobody's stupid. That's why you told my email for him, Murph. You know why you dropped your email, Murph. I'm 20 steps ahead of you already. You only dropped your email so I can try to send you an email so then you can try to make it seem like somebody was hacking into your stuff. Because now that y'all know the feds is watching y'all want to try to deflect and put all the crimes that y'all was committing on somebody else. The fact that y'all been hacking into people's accounts, using. This is why you heard Jaguar say nobody's going to get me caught up on wire fraud, or because they know it's getting real close. They know it's getting real close. That's why they say nobody's going to get me on wire fraud transactions and da 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 da, because they know it's getting close. Now all of them is trying to throw somebody else up under the bus, and hopefully that would suffice, right? So with this Ada scam and everything else going on, they thought that they can just make Murph take the bulk of this, right? That's why Jaguar Wright said that Murph was the contact between Ada, but that's not true. If you go back to the Ada situation when it first came about, Stephanie is the only one that's in contact with Ada. Stephanie was the one talking to Ada's boyfriend, saying that Ada's boyfriend sent her a message and she talked to Ada. Anytime Murph said something, Murph said, I talked to Stephanie, and Stephanie said, Ada's out of the coma. Murph said, I talked to Stephanie, and Stephanie said, Ada sent her a message. Murph was relaying the stuff that Stephanie was saying. So for Jaguar to sit up there and say Murph was the only contact, but originally Maggie said Stephanie is the contact to Ada, and then she told Stephanie, send me everything on this that you have. So therefore, that's telling you that Stephanie was the point of contact, right? That's why they're all crashing out right now, because I am not only pointing this out, I'm not letting y'all just throw us Murph. No, all of y'all are going to have to humble yourself and change y'all actions. All of y'all. Y'all ain't about to hide this up under Murph and just make it seem like Murph was the one that brought up this Stephanie thing. No, this was a the Ada thing. This was a Maggie and Stephanie move. Murph was just the person that they choose to take the downfall for this. This is Maggie and Stephanie. And now that Murph done compromised them by sending them inappropriate pictures of his kids to their phone, now they're trying to wrap all of that up, right? But why ain't nobody speak about it when you knew he was falsifying this information? As long as you thought that Murph was going to take me down, y'all was willing to carry on with that lie. But now you see that he can't. So now you want to throw him under the bus and try to save face. No, all of y'all are going to get pointed out. I'm not stopping until all of y'all get pointed out. And y'all think y'all the only ones scamming? You know how many scammers I ran across over the last 3 years of being on these applications? I ran across people on TikTok that tried to use me to help them, telling me to make a Linktree for them, telling me to make a GoFundMe for them, knowing damn well that GoFundMe leads back to my IP address. So soon as they get caught up with the bullshit, guess who they try to get to take the fall for it? Me, because that GoFundMe leads to my IP address, right? I ran across a gentleman who was scamming out of his car. He's a homeless singer. He pretends to be in a car, singing from a car. For 20 years, he's been fake singing from this car for grifting, getting money, fraudulent scheming. I ran across another group out of Atlanta that was doing what's it called? Scavenger hunt scams, right? This ain't the first group I ran across. Y'all think I came over here on some titty lolly boo shit? No, I've been fighting scammers online. I've been calling them out online. I've been pointing them out online. This ain't the first group I ran across. They're just mad because I point out the truth. And once people start seeing it, they'll stop donating. So they know their pockets have taken a hit. They know that. That's why Maggie struck my page. As soon as I brung up that 86.2K page, she struck my page. That's why she did that. Because she knows, oh, snap. He's pointing it out. That's why she struck my page. Let me see if I got the video up on here. She knows she got an 86. That's why she don't like Paula now. Because she knows Paula can expose her. Paula can literally point out the fact that Maggie got an 86.2K page right here. Maggie. I told you, Maggie, you might want to leave me alone, right? I told you that. I said, don't let really me start digging and looking up stuff for you, right? Atlas, download the video screenshots. What do you mean? What do you mean download the video screenshot? So look, Maggie, this is a whole page that you was on, sponsored by everything. This page was made for you. Huh? This was made for you.
To be able to stream on StreamYard.
Look at this page, Maggie. It literally says, let's go into detail. Let's click on the details of this, right? This is you, right, Maggie? Welcome to the Wise Black Owl. As a wise black Maggie. So Maggie, so Maggie already had StreamYard. Maggie already had this stuff before she started scamming with Jaguar, making it seem like she didn't have StreamYard. And everybody help me get StreamYard. Donate to the StreamYard, right? She already had StreamYard. It was no need for her to scam money off of people for something that she already had. That means it's fraudulent schemes. When you have somebody collecting money, but the money didn't go to what she collected for, that's fraudulent. That's scamming. That means I gave you my money with the help of you getting StreamYard and you already had it. Yeah, that's fraudulent. That's like crowdfunding for something and then not putting the money back into what you crowdfunded for. That's fraudulent. That's scamming. That is wire fraud, electronic transactions, right? So for them to sit over there and say, you donated, that's my money. No. If you tell me that the money is going to something and it don't go to it, That's fraudulent and scheming. You can't say, if it was a donation, then you would say, just donate freely, right? Just like I'm saying. Anybody that want to donate, the Cash App and the PayPal is at the bottom of the screen, right? But if I tell you that this money is going towards something, and then I don't put it towards that of what it's going to, that means I fraudulently and electronically siphoned money from you and didn't put it to what I said it was going to, right? Which is scamming, right? So that's how that works. Anyone on TikTok, would you please go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube? Drop a follow or drop a sub on Ralph D Wise. That is Ralph the Wise, right? We are operating on 2 pages on TikTok, 2 pages on YouTube, and 1 page on Twitch. Love is love. Namaste, Ashe, salutation, shalom. And remember, you got to have proper discernment in this new atmosphere. If we're under the Aquarius sky, you better have proper discernment. And Maggie, she can say whatever she wants to say to try to get me to come back up on her panel. She knows the moment I come back up on her panel, it's not going to be a conversation with me and her. She's trying to get me back over there so she can pull 7 people up on the panel, right? These people say that I'm scared to come up over there or whatever. They know that I make the show. They know that. That's why they're trying to get me to come back up over there, because they know I make the show, right? Now they're trying to get me to pop back up over there, trying to say all types of stuff. He's a pussy. He's this. He's that. Yeah, I know. Use all of your carnal minded ways to try to make somebody in their feelings so I can come up there with rage or come up there with anger. I have emotional intelligence. You know what I mean? I won't let them play on me like that. That's why every time I went over there, I stood in right. And they know that from the first time that I went up on their page, they know that. They know. That's why Ayasha comes up and say, I want to talk to Ralph. That's why Jaguar come up and say, get Ralph back over here. That's why you got the new characters that's popping up. Jay Wizak, Jay Wack, whatever his name is. He pop up and start saying stuff about me and don't even know me, right? You got the other dude, Pew Pew, whatever his name is. He pop up. And you can tell that all of them are operating in feminine energy. You can tell. That's a panel full of women. Even when Wolf is up there and Murph was up there, you still seen a panel full of feminine energy. They know what they doing. I don't have to keep on putting myself in their spaces. They know what it is I represent. That's why all of them are trying to put lies on me. Their lies can't stand in the light. And every time they lie on me, things come back to them tenfold. So every time they lie on me one time, 10 of their truths get revealed. And that's why they mad. They know what they fighting against. They fighting against truth and light. They not fighting me. They fighting against truth and light. And they getting their butt whooped.
This means if we hold a thought form and behaviors that vibrationally matches Luciferian intentions or
went over there and
satanic
looked up.
intentions, at the same or equal vibration or frequency level, this is the consent that one has given to be in authority or exchange with those same forces. As an example, one may go to church and pray to God for help, and then go home and engage in self-destructive habits, addiction, sexual misery programs, yell at their spouse, or whatever else. Then the person wonders why they cannot feel any spiritual support or God connection. One may ask for consent and authority to be with God, however, as this example represents, it is the accumulative choices that we make in our thoughts and behaviors that ultimately energetically align us to the force we are in consent with. This highlights.
You hear that? You hear that right there? It just said that it said, for example, one might go to church and praise God, but then go back and contribute to destructive habits, addiction, sexual misery programs, so on and so forth, right? It's the same thing that they're doing. Even though Jaguar Wright's words say that she served Yahweh, her actions don't reflect that. She's not doing everything in her power to be at peace with one another. She's not turning the other cheek. She's not, feeding her enemy as the biblical text says, right? She's operating in addiction, right? Different variations of sexual misery programs. This is why she pegs everyone that she's in a relationship with, right? This is why she convinces them to get pegged, right? That's the energy that she really represents. She don't represent no energy that's Christ-like or God-like, right? So you're seeing what she serves. You're seeing what energy she serves, right? But because she say, I'm a follower of the Sabbath, but you're not showing exemplary measures of that following of the Sabbath. I'm Muslim. I took my Shahada. Yeah, Muslim religion is a peaceful religion. You're not practicing peace or operating in peace, right? I follow Yahweh. Yet you're not exhibiting examples of that, right? So don't be fooled by these people words as they call on different variations of God. Your energy, what you reflect is going to get you closer to God, right? How you carry yourself is going to get you closer to God. God said, how can you love me who you have never seen, yet hate your brother who you see every day? You're watching examples of this. They're showing themselves to you of what energy they operate in, right? So you got to be very cautious with these personas. You got to be very, very cautious with these personas. They don't have good intentions, not for you, not for nobody. So you got to be careful. You have to be very, very careful. Oh, that's good right there. I don't know. You put Lady Letitia on there. That's kind of, I don't know if I can. And we can't talk about Atwood's channel right now because he's going through court. So he's striking anybody that's talking about his channel because he's going through, he's about to have. All right. We'll talk about that in the Discord later. So yeah, these different variations of personas that we're dealing with, you got to open your eyes to them. You have to see them for what they really are. And if you're having spiritual discernment. Now, for those who want to get
highlights
caught
the
up,
importance of choosing one's authority and therefore one's intentional consent and authority every day. To help overcome the negative thoughts one may have as you learn to discipline the mind from negative ego and predator mind thoughts. As we discipline our mind daily by discerning spiritually healthy thought forms that are suggested in the GSF behavior and the law of one, we get stronger to build our spiritual house, which is building our structure, as obeying the law of structure. One has the right to build their personal space to comply with one's personal consent, as given through accumulative thoughts and behaviors in the law of consent, which decide which forces are used in the building of the internal and external structure, through the law of structure. What we give our consent to is what we give our authority to.
now, what that's saying is when you are building your structure, you can go look up the law of structure or the law of consent, right? So these people are consenting into lower vibrational things. They are consenting into operating with greed, gluttony, lust, envy, hate, pain, hurt, fear, right? They are consenting to this stuff. So they are feeding this operation. They are building this structure of operation inside their vessel. Thus far, eternally and externally, they are revealing themselves to you. All you have to do is be willing to open your eyes and you'll see exactly what they're operating in, right? As soon as I started fighting these different variations of energies off inside my vessel, I started noticing when other people were in this form of operation, right? I started really noticing these entities that operate like this. As soon as I started realizing that my inner me is my inner me, and I started battling with my inner me, right? Then I started seeing these different entities that are outside of me that are reflecting lust, greed, gluttony, envy, jealousy, right? Now, the problem is once I notice them, they also notice me. And that's why they are attacking me at the magnitude that they're attacking me with the lies, right? This is why they're feeding a different group of lies to a different group of people because all of them operate on that energy. I want y'all to think about this, right? I go over there by myself as one persona. They have 7 people on a panel showing you that they operate in legions, right? They need 5 to 7 people on that panel. See, that 4-person panel wasn't good enough for them the last time when I went over there and tore down 4 of them, right? So now when I go over there, they're like, and we're going to bring Ayasha up. We're going to bring Grace up. We're going to bring Jaguar up. We're going to bring Wolf Coochie up. We're going to. Why do you think they bringing so many people up every time I go over there? Soon as I go over there, they want to bring 8 people up. Why? Why? Because they operate in legions. I want you to go back to the Conjuring, right? What did that vessel say? We are many. That's what they say. We are many, right? So they can't deal with me individually. That's why they don't come up over here. That's why none of them pop up over here, even though they go over there and talk about my live. Did you see his live? Did you see Ralph the Wise live? Stephanie say, no, I don't watch none of his lives. So how are you using your own discernment if you yourself never went over to one of my lives and watched it? That means you're taking somebody else's word for it. That means you don't have a brain of your own. She sits there without her own discernment and say, I never went over to his space. I never seen none of his lives, but you are passing judgment based off of what someone else is saying. None of these characters say that. They all try to make it seem like they never seen my live, but they're just taking Maggie's word for whatever it is that she's saying. Goldie, all of them, right? And Goldie said that I talked about her kid. But then she turned around and told on herself and was like, oh, here we go with this again. Because I said that Jaguar sexualized her kid, right? I said I wasn't talking about your kid. I was talking about how Jaguar sexualized them. But see, y'all want to weaponize y'all kids, right? It's the same thing that happens when you say somebody is a bad parent, right? You say they're a bad parent and they try to use their kids as a shield. Don't bring my kids into this. I'm not. I'm bringing your parenting into this. Don't say nothing about my kids. I didn't. I said something about your parenting. Leave kids out of it. I did. I'm talking about the way that you are parenting that kid. But they want to keep on overlooking your words to fit a false narrative for their defense system. That's not proper operation. If you're pointing out the fact that somebody's a bad parent, you're not talking about the kid. You're talking about them. Right? So this is how they operate. This is how they work. It makes no sense at all, but they'll keep on doing this because it's the justification that they need to sit right with. They're trying to justify their actions, their fuckery, their trickery. That's what they're trying to justify. Oh, snap. I almost lost y'all right there, TikTok. For the people that's on Energy of Atlas page, I almost lost y'all. My battery was on 5%. It done went to sleep mode and some more stuff. Y'all better hurry up and get over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube and hit the subscription button over there. I need a couple more people over there. Come on, TikTok, work with me here. Work with me here, TikTok. Come on, I'm on 2 pages on TikTok. Can I get a couple of y'all to work with me? I'm asking y'all to do something that's free. Just go drop a sub on Ralph the Wise on YouTube. Come on. Come on, TikTok. Everybody else wants y'all to drop a galaxy. You know, I ain't even asking for a galaxy. I'm just asking you to go over to YouTube and give me a sub. It's free. I know a lot of y'all suffer from ODD. I'm not trying to be authority. I just need a sub. I'm just trying to get some subs. That's all, TikTok. Come on, work with me here. I'm on 2 pages on TikTok. A couple of y'all can do that for me. I'm giving y'all some knowledgeable stuff right now. Can I get a sub? And when you get over there, let me know that you did it so I can thank you. If you don't see my YouTube page, that's because you're probably not looking for it. If you don't see my YouTube page, it's probably because you're not looking for it, because we're live on 2 pages on YouTube right now. Why would the link need to be in my bio? So now you're trying to make me work harder to help you find the page when all you got to do is go over to YouTube and type in Ralph the Wise, D-A-Wise, Ralph D-A-Wise. So you want me to put the link in my bio. Now you're trying to put me to work. I'm trying to get you to do something for free, and you trying to put me to work. Come on, Melinda, work with me here. We on 2 pages over there. If you don't find Ralph the Wise, you're going to find Energy of Atlas 111. We are live on 2 pages over there. They want me to do more. Like, they want me to make it easier. I'm making it as easy as possible. And they still saying do more to make it easier. That means they're not willing to put themselves in operation to find the page. When they want to find something, they find it easily. We know these everybody can actually do the work to find the stuff, but I don't know. If you can't find it, I appreciate you for thinking about finding it. That's all I can say about that. Because I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you can't find it, I appreciate you for thinking about it. Maybe you thinking about it to put somebody else in the proper will to actually find it. But I can't keep on, like, that's a trick right there. When somebody says, I can't find it, do more to help me find it. Like, damn, I did everything on my end that I possibly can do. You know what I mean? So that's them trying to say, I don't work for you, you work for me. You do something for me. Like, that's what it's a trick. It's a trick. It's not you know, they don't really want to find your YouTube. This is people that don't really want to find your YouTube, but they want to discourage other people from going over there. So they say they can't find it. So when somebody else read that in the comment section, they automatically get discouraged because they don't want to go through the steps of not finding it too. So they hurry up and say, I can't find it. So then other people say, well, I'm not about to go look for it if they can't find it. You know what I mean? That's the shit that they do. And it has nothing to do with me. I can't do nothing but continue to go live and hope that the right people find the space. Everything's not for everybody.
Whatever kind of force we are in consent with, whether we know this or not, is the quality of energy that our body and consciousness is subjected to in universal law. The quality of spiritual force will have corresponding dimensional laws, which govern the actions of that quality of that spirit. Negative forces are in the lower dimensions and create servitude and bondage to.
Look at what she's still saying. She said, all the people I follow got links in their bio. So the link that's in my bio is to my Discord. So click the link that's in my bio, go over to my Discord, and then go to my YouTube page for my Discord. How about that? Because this is my backup page. That's why the link's not in my bio, because this is one of my backup pages. If you would like to go to my main page, Energy of Atlas, we are live on that page too. And then you can click on that link in that bio. Since you want to try to make this some type of I need to do more to help you type of situation, instead of you just actually going over to YouTube and typing in Ralph the Wise, you want to sit here and try to make it seem like I only follow people that got links in their bio. Well, don't follow me then. Don't go over there then. If I got to do more to get you to go subscribe, don't go subscribe. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all always want people to do more when they asking you for the minimum. I'm asking you to do something that's free. You want me to shut the whole page down and put the link in the bio to please you, one person. That's your fault. I don't got nothing to do with that. You don't want to go find the page. That's the reality of it. You don't want to go find the page, and that's okay. But stop typing stuff in my comment section that's discouraging other people from doing it. Stop trying to justify your actions of not doing it. Okay? Don't justify your actions of not doing it. Just don't do it. You trying to make yourself feel better. Get out of here. That's weird.
Bondage to time, while positive
Just don't
forces of
type
the
that in
spirits
my
of
comment
Christ are in
section.
the highest
That's trying to put
dimensions
me in
and create
frustration.
sovereignty and
Don't
freedom
type
for the
that in my
soul and
comment
spirit.
section. Your subscription
What we
is
think
not
with our
that
intent will
important
be
to
in
me, or
consent
I
with the
gotta jump
frequency
to another
match of the
loop.
forces that we generate, and the force we create with is our authority in the structure
It
that we are
comes right
building.
up. That's what I'm saying.
What
They
we
know.
build in the law of structure.
I know. Listen, I know it's going to come right up because the title is Ralph the Wise is live, right? So by the title being Ralph the Wise is live, as soon as they type in Ralph the Wise in their YouTube bar, one of my feeds are going to come up. They don't even want to go type it in. They're telling me to do more for them. Make it make sense. That means you're looking for a way not to find the page. You're looking for a reason not to go put it in. That don't have nothing to do with me. That's her operation. She don't want to go find the page, but she's trying to type stuff in the comment section that discourage other people from finding the page. And then as soon as I get frustrated, she'll say something on the line of, I'm not following you if you're going to talk to me like that. Well, don't follow me then.
Structure is what we have created with accumulated or combined forces.
It's not hard at all.
This creation, whether perceived as intangible or tangible, will have an energetic cause and effect upon our body, mind, consciousness, and all of our life experiences.
To find the page.
When one has the knowledge of the law of intent, they naturally develop their consent with whatever energy, force, or structure they are interacting with or co-creating with. That force of energy, whether positive or negative, is used to create a structure, and that will determine the authority with which that structure has been built. As long as that structure has been built with that same intent, consent, and authority, it will remain as the governor of that structure.
You hear that? You hear that? The operation of intent, right? It says when one has the knowledge of the law of intent, right? They naturally develop their consent with whatever energy, right? So I want the free will, the love, the light, right? So I'm putting my intentions into that operation of bringing forth change to this world, right? So these are the contents. See, some people put themselves in the content of laziness, right? So they'll do everything to try to be lazy, do as little as possible, do as less work as possible. The same form that she just put herself in, right? I got to do more for her to do less. You get what I'm saying? That's her intentions. That's not mine, right? That's the law of intent, right? So if she's intending on being lazy, then she's going to do everything in her power to stay lazy. I can't change her operation. Even if it was in my bio, still try to say that the link is not working in the bio just to further her justification for her laziness. You get what I'm saying? And I'll play it back so you guys can hear it.
What we build in the law of structure is what we have created with accumulated or combined forces. This creation, whether perceived as intangible or tangible, will have an energetic cause and effect upon our body, mind, consciousness, and all of our life experiences. When one has the knowledge of the law of intent, they naturally develop their consent with whatever energy, force, or structure they are interacting with or co-creating with. That force of energy, whether positive or negative, is used to create a structure, and that will determine the authority with which that structure has been built. As long as that structure has been built with that same intent, consent, and authority, it will remain as the governor of that structure. This lack of knowledge is the most common reason why an individual that has unknowingly co-created with the negative causes, that are the imposter spirit forces, becomes increasingly entangled with these negative forces, creating more negative results from law of cause and effect. Many people cannot discern negative forces and the levels of deception carried out by the imposter spirits. This is a loophole created from the alien machinery and its inorganic AI architecture that has manipulated human beings to co-create with these negative forces, in order to grow and spread their negative effects on the earth plane and in other dimensions. 2. Self-sourcing thoughts and behaviors. To source thoughts, it is supremely helpful to become aware of the internal structures of ego operating in one's body and be able to monitor thoughts as spiritually abusive thoughts or spiritually healthy thoughts. Once this is accomplished, it is much easier to learn how to be in compassionate witnessing and not need to assign any type of judgment on thoughts, but to assume neutrality. It is important to know that the alien machinery has abused the natural laws, in so that humanity does not have free will in the way that they believe they have. This has been accomplished through the erasure of galactic memories, unplugging human
and this is one thing that I work with, my son with, right? It's the thought, right? His thought process, right? He tells himself stuff like whenever he put himself down, he do better in the game, right? And that's not true. You do better in the game because you are better in the game, right? But he thinks that by putting himself down, by saying, man, I suck, man, I did terrible, he thinks that that's helping him do better. And I'm trying to get him out of that operation. Don't talk about yourself like that. Don't speak down on yourself like that, right? You made him, even if we lose in the game, we gonna get him next time. We got this. We the shit. You know what I mean? This is something that I'm building up in him, building good characteristic traits in him. Don't never talk down about yourself. Don't never speak this ill intent on yourself, But because he got caught up in that gaming life and everybody speaks so ill intently of each other in the game, he thinks by beating himself up, he's doing better in the game. Right? This is why I try to get on that game with him and run with him in that game, not only to protect him from other people that's trying to talk negative about him, but also build the characteristic traits up in him of goodness, of light, right? You the shit. Y'all heard him yesterday in the Discord. He was like, man, I'm good. Man, I'm the best. Man, because I'm building that in him. Speak great about yourself, right? I mean, he was talking hella shit yesterday while we was playing. He was, oh yeah, I got 10 of them. I got 12. Oh, and we got the victory. Like that's what I like to hear. I like to hear him speak highly of himself. He's got enough people in this world that's going to try to tear him down. But as long as he don't let that bother him, he's always going to be great. Just like the basketball team. When he was on the basketball team, the coach was putting him in competition with other players that was on the team. I'm like, 7, don't worry about them. You just go out there and play your best. Have good sportsmanship, right? Don't worry about the coach, telling you this and telling you that, trying to, make you be in competition with the other players on the team. This is why they break the band up. This is why they tell groups, oh, y'all should put out solo albums. So then they can compare the solo albums. This is why they put LeBron James compared to Michael Jordan, even though it's two different eras, right? He can't stand in his own glory and own right by himself. He got to be in competition with somebody that was outside of his time, so on and so forth. So you got to be careful with these different forms of operation that these entities use outside of you to put you at a fight with the inside of yourself, right? Inside of yourself, you should feel great. Outside of yourself, you're still going to have to go through the trials and tribulations that we call life. It doesn't take away from the greatness that's inside of you. It's just saying that you have to go through this in order to build the characteristic traits that you are feeling inside of you. That's where, diversity comes, right? We the truth seekers.
Planetary DNA and using psychological spiritual warfare through mind control technology. All of these psycho-spiritual warfare assaults against humanity and the mind make it challenging to impossible to navigate the terrain of the promotion and shaping of the archontic deception behavior and its victim-victimizer strategy to keep the collective human mind generating thoughts of the predator realm. If we think thoughts like a predator, if we think thoughts that are opposing and abusive to the natural laws of God and the inner Christ spirit, we are then in consent with the Luciferian or satanic forces. If we remain in consent with our thoughts to the imposter spirit, we will suffer greatly in spiritually abusive behaviors that we generate from our own mind, and its match to our thought vibration in the collective unconscious mind. References: Single soul occupancy, cause and effect, laws of intent, consent, and authority. See also law.
This is my outside cat. This cat just wandered in the yard. And look how small she is. She won't grow. They say it's a racer cat, but this is my outside cat. She just wandered in the yard. It's called a familiar. So she's familiar with my energy, so it brought her to my house. And she won't leave. I let her outside. She goes outside and she comes back. I open the door, let her back in. She comes back in. Okay, I'm sorry. That's how your mouth hurt. I'm sorry. Oh, your breath stink. Not my fault you got bad teeth in your mouth. I got some bad teeth in my mouth too. Maybe we could fix it together. What's going on, Denat? How's everything? The culture is rising. And these people are mad. What's going on with you, man? Love is love. Hope all is well. Y'all drop the hearts in the comment section for Denat. Y'all drop the hearts in the comment section for Denat. You have to be very cautious in this new time. Things are shifting, things are shaping differently. People are coming into different mindsets and understandings of their self. And the world is changing around us as we know it. You have a lot of people that don't want this change to take place. They already put their mindset in some type of superiority idea over you. So now that things are changing and shifting and we're coming to a oneness, that equals out the playing field. They don't like that. They don't want you to feel as great as they feel. Their objective is to put you down so they can feel better about their self. Tomorrow we're going to get into Lee lines and grids because this is important. This is the grid of the human DNA that we're talking about. We're not just talking about any type of Lee lines or grids. We're talking about Lee lines, and metaphysics. How do these Lee lines correspond to your vessel, your body, your DNA? So there's 12 strands of DNA. All 12 of them strands are awakening inside the vessels of man. They told you that 2 years ago, that some people are using more strands of their DNA than others. And this goes back to the 36 chromosomes. There's actually 144 chromosomes. You see how the 12 within the 12 plays out, right? The 12 within the 12, it's everywhere. The universe put it in everything. That's why we have 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness, or 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night, whatever you want to call it, right? That's why we have 12 zodiac signs. That's why, 12 inches equals 1 foot, right? Because it's in everything. This is why Baker gives you, 13 as a mystery dozen, because it's baked in the oven. Therefore, they give you a mystery 13, right? It is the essence of Christ that is inside of us that connects the 12 disciples that are inside of us. Once you realize that the disciples are inside the vessel, you'll allow the Christ essence inside of you to put back together the 12 that is inside the vessel. As opposed to looking at this as an outer story, you'll start becoming the Christ of your vessel, and you'll be baptized by John the Baptist, and you'll be befriended by Mary Magdalene, which is the sacral chakra. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that, tomorrow, or we'll do it tomorrow.
Our
But
thought consciousness creates a holographic grid program that repeats in cycles and can be best understood if you study sacred geometry. The grids consist of a matrix of sound, light and color through which we virtually experience time and emotion. In physical reality, the grids are electromagnetic, creating polarity or duality of experience, looking to restore balance. When one is in the process of awakening and moving through the healing process of healing self by healing others, one creates balance, increases their psychic abilities, and obtains a final understanding of the nature of reality and where it is all going. Reality is about the evolution of consciousness in the alchemy of time. Grid and human DNA. Grid energy is the very essence and fabric of the universe. In the following illustration created by Deja Allison, Usui Reiki master, hypnotherapist, Ph.D. in motivational studies, GBCT instructor, the grid has no beginning and no end. Looking at the grid vertically, you will see it makes a four-sided diamond shape, following creational/sacred geometry, showing the interlaced woven matrix of universal essence. When energy flows unobstructed, the flux remains relativity even, though there is always intonation at all times. You can see examples of how the shape forms other geometry for manifestation. Human DNA is configured by this geometry. In order for the flux to have different levels of intonation, there must be catalysis of some kind. Thoughts and action are two different kinds of catalysts. Therefore, there must be movement to effect change. Different laws affect the consciousness of the grids, such as balance, neutrality, as well as immutable universal laws. Codes of energy that once put into motion cannot be stopped and must play out until the end of the program. How those laws affect us is determined by our own energy patterns. Our thoughts and actions determine the law of attraction by the types of experiences to which we have experienced in this lifetime or another. Immutable laws cannot be stopped. They can be altered by events but not stopped. 1.
All right. So, when you get into that, we're going to save that for tomorrow, because that'll be a lot of stuff to get into as far as the grid and how it relates to your light body, your, axles, the 12 tree grid. This is the diaphragm of the vessel right here, if you look. So this is the 12 tree grid of the vessel, so on and so forth. So we'll get into that tomorrow. We'll do a deep dive into that tomorrow. Now, once again, we try to get the knowledge out the way in the morning, and then later on, we got to fight these demons. You know what I mean? With laughter and love and light. And that's what they don't like. They don't like that I'm busting them up with laughter. You know, they got all types of tactics. They coming out with Muppet babies and some more shit, you know. Oh man. Hey, for everybody that's on TikTok, get over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. That's Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube. Get over there. We do have a lot of fun over there. We laugh a lot over there. And anybody that want to contribute, here is the link. We appreciate it. Gratitude, 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 rising. Love is love. Namaste. Ashe, salutation, shalom, peace. So let's get into this right here because a lot of people operate with this memory storage of unconsciousness. I want to bring y'all out of the unconscious mind. Realize that we are conscious beings. Once you realize that you are a conscious being, you'll realize that source is conscious, and then you'll be connected back to that source. So unplug from that unconscious outlet that you're using, that dead energy, and plug it back up to source so you can have the energy of life. Life comes with a conscious. That's why it says this is a zombie world. A lot of people are walking around in an unconscious mind, which puts you in the form of a zombie. If you have a conscious, then you will be, yes, a conscious come with taking accountability for your actions. Yes, a conscious come with doing the right thing, having integrity, so on and so forth. These are the things that a conscious come with. A lot of people don't want to have integrity. A lot of people don't want to take accountability. This is why they stay in the unconscious state because they want to blame it on somebody else. Don't go talk to my mom. My mom made me this way. No, your mom brought you into this world, but your mom didn't make you. You have to take accountability for how you grew in this world. If you grew up in wickedness, whatever the case may be, that's the things that you were putting inside yourself. That ain't got nothing to do with who brought you into this world. That don't got nothing to do with what vessel brought you into this world because your parents are not really your parents. They are just the vessel that brought you into this third dimension, right? A lot of people want to try to make that title hold when that title don't hold. You got a father in heaven, you got Mother Earth or Gaia, right? That is your true mother and father, right? But you want to look at it and say the vessel that brought you into this world. No, that's just the form of what you came in this world. Now that you here, you're accountable for your own actions. That's why the Bible says once you know right from wrong, you are accountable. You are held accountable. So once you get an idea of right and wrong, you are accountable. A lot of people don't want to take accountability.
First internal layer. This is the root layer of our unconscious mind and it functions like a hard drive for the ego. In this hard drive is the cellular memory storage from all of one's life.
I'm sorry. Sometimes the AI don't want to work with me. So as soon as I walked away, she decided
One's
to
life
stop reading.
streams. This means that cellular memories from past lives, present lives, and future lives may
Y'all
all
can't
be
hear it?
stored in this memory hard drive. These memories are not given
Can
value
y'all
when
hear
they
it?
are recorded.
StreamYard's been acting up. Y'all can hear it? YouTube? Okay. Hey, TikTok, make sure y'all go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. Go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. Drop a sub over there. I'm trying to reach 1K. 1K. Only need about 15 more people, well, maybe 20 something more people, you know. If everybody on the TikTok page just go over to Ralph the Wise and drop a sub, you know, I'll probably be there by the time I get off this live. But I know everybody's not going to do it.
Recorded,
So I
whether one may
appreciate the
perceive
ones
them
who
as good
do.
or bad, these many multiple memories are
Appreciate the
stored
ones
on the
who
root
do.
hard drive of every human being. Whether one was a fetus, baby, in between lifetimes, or unconscious when the body suffered abuse and experienced trauma, it was recorded in one's memory storage whether one currently remembers that event consciously or not. Because the planet was invaded and our
Did
individual
you hear
memory
that?
and identity.
It said whether you was a fetus, a baby, in between lifetimes, right? That means it doesn't matter how many times you've been reincarnated. It doesn't matter. All of these traumas are wrote down inside your unconscious mind, right? So that's telling you right there that your life water has memory. And whether you want to believe it or not, if you were in the fetus state inside the belly of your mom and she was experiencing trauma, then you also have memory of that trauma. Okay?
Identity erased from those tragic events. Most all human beings have four main areas of cellular memory record in their unconscious mind at varying degrees. Those four main areas are abuse, trauma, shock, and devastation. Some people will feel these painful memories but not know what caused them or where they came from. Others will suffer from shock and will have shut these memories down completely as a coping mechanism. Others are very successful clearing these memories through emotional clearing practices such as with hypnosis and past life regression. Since this 1D unconscious mind controls our autonomic nervous system and autonomic bodily functions, unhealed memory trauma in these four main areas creates many kinds of physical symptoms and disease. These devastating memories have been partially described in Twisted Half-Truths in the Fall of Humankind, or the Genesis story of Adam and Eve in the Bible. Starseeds have an Earth mission to heal these memories and timelines in a multitude of ways. 1.
So, as a star seed, let me allow that to be looked at for a second. As I come into the understanding that I am a star seed, right? As I come into the understanding that I am a star seed, I realize that I have to do everything to heal these timelines. Through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, I am trying to help people heal these different timelines of trauma. Now, good things could be placed, but in order to push the trauma memories out, you have to be willing to replace them with as many good memories as possible. Does that make sense? So, in order for us to change this, we have to put as much good on top of it to where as though you start forgetting that bad stuff happened. This is what I tell people in relationships, right? I say I'm sorry for whatever someone else done, but let's try to put as much good stuff, let's try to create good memories so that way you forget that these old memories exist. You forget that some guy did you wrong, right? Because I'm going to replace all of that with good memories, right? That's what you have to do. If you want to clean up the timelines, start replacing things with good memories, right? Focus on the good memories, right? I can sit here and tell y'all that, my dad whooped my ass with extension cords, or I got beatings when I was a kid, or he hit me in the back with a shovel, or I can tell you all of that trauma bonding shit. I choose not to. I choose to look at my dad with forgiveness, right? I choose to look at my dad with love, right? I still go around my dad to this day. I can go right to my dad's house. I can call my dad right now and tell him to come to my house and he'll come here. It doesn't even matter. Like my dad would be like, "You got something around the house you want fixed? Come on, let's hang out. Let's kick it." Right? I choose to rebuild that timeline with good memories. I don't look at my dad for the ass whoopings that he gave me when I was a kid. I choose to look at him and say, those ass whoopings made me the person that I am today. And for that, I love you. because I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I take away those ass whoopings, right? So a lot of times it's based off of how you want to look at it. A lot of people keep on looking at traumas and bad things in their life and say, why me? Why me? Why me? But when you start looking at it and saying, why not me? You'll start appreciating things in a different light. And that's the way I decided to look at life. I started to have a different appreciation for the good and the bad in this world. Right? I started having a different level of appreciation for the good and the bad in this world. TikTok, we are 13 people away on YouTube. Ralph the Wise on YouTube. Appreciate the gift. Ralph the Wise on YouTube. We are 13 people away from 1K. 13 people away from 1K. If you want to help out, please go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube and drop a follow. A sub. Drop a sub over there on YouTube. We're just 13 people away. And as you can see, it's 22 people in one room and 8 people in the other. And the reason why is because I'm operating on 2 TikTok pages at one time. So it is ciphering my internet network. The amount of stuff that's coming in through the internet. So it's spreading it out. But if everybody from the page actually go to Ralph the Wise and drop, we can get there right now. In this moment, you can help me get to 1K. All you got to do is go to Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube. Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube. Drop a sub. It's free. It's free, right? So yes, you got to stay out of different variations of, and it's not to say like we can't share our different levels of stories with each other. We just got to remember what we're doing, right? When I share certain stories, I start as an empath, I feel the energy that I'm changing in people's body. I can feel your energy changing, right? So I know when I'm trauma bonding with people. A lot of people know when they're trauma bonding with you. They can feel your mood start to switch. They feel your mood start to change, and they'll keep digging. They'll keep digging. They feel that they're having an effect on you, and they'll still keep, and this happened, and that happened, and this happened. And then next thing you know, you sitting there crying, they sitting there lying. Same thing with Jaguar Wright and Madagascar. He wants they want to play on your feelings and emotions. They want you to feel hurt, pain, all of that stuff. So they go around and they try to make other people feel less so they can feel better. That's what they do. They go around and talk crap about everybody else just so they can feel good about their fuckery. And that's why I say a real spiritual war is no more than a war on consciousness. That's the real war. When you think about a spiritual war, it's a war on your conscious. Okay.
War on consciousness. This spiritual war is designed to attack the human mind through the incredibly sophisticated use of subconscious programming methods, which are designed to dehumanize the masses so that they digress into something less than animals, a fallen shadow of a human being that has lost contact with the light of their soul. The anti-soul agenda produces people without their spiritual connection that are lost and confused, are easily exploited through subconscious programs to generate more dark shadows that carry out the enslavement agenda.
Allegedly,
many of the belief
supposedly.
systems that form our ego/personality are subconsciously programmed during early childhood before our brains have had sufficient time to fully develop into the levels of intelligence that involve logic, language, critical thinking, and problem solving. The human brain and nervous system undergo several bio-spiritual developmental phases from childhood throughout adulthood, ages 12-22-33-44, that are related to the level of consciousness expansion that occurs in that individual throughout.
Now, I want y'all to look at these ages, right? It says the age 20, it says the age 12, 22, 33, 44, right? Christ first appeared at the age of 12 when he flipped over the churches, when he first went to Jerusalem, because Jerusalem is in the brain. Christ is an essence that is built up in Nazareth, which is at that time probably they named it Nazareth, but it actually is your testicles. So it's a hormonal energy inside your body that rises up inside your vessel. Jerusalem being a brain, Christ is a seed that rises up in the spinal cord to reach Jerusalem. He first appeared at the age of 12 or roughly 13. Jesus died at the age of 33. Ironically, you see these numbers right here, 12 and 33, right? So it's telling you the path of Christ in the body. It's connected with mankind. A man first starts having secretion in his sac at the age of 12, right? This is what is, always was, and always will be. This is the story that repeats over and over again because it's about the story of Christ inside the body, the Christ like energy, right? Christ consciousness, right? So that's why you see it say the age 12 and 33, because these are ascension ages. That's why Jay-Z got the 40, is it 40-40 or 44? It don't matter.
Throughout their lifetime. Thus, humans have been subconsciously programmed to repel and reject this natural stage of consciousness growth, which would evolve the human being into integration stages with their soul consciousness at the early age of 12. Controlled mainstream media keeps
That just
entertainment
said
and news at the mental
breaking
level of a
news.
10 to 12-year-old, to exploit the subconscious programming that stops adults from furthering their soul integration.
What happened,
This
Sandra? You
leaves
need to
people
come
that are
up.
effectively hypnotized and mesmerized by mainstream media emotionally stunted in their light body, frozen in time at this developmental stage of being a child. The NAA rely heavily upon the use of subconscious programming mind control tactics, through the use
Allegedly.
of assorted electromagnetic technologies, nanotechnology, and chemicals that are designed to interfere with and disrupt the biospiritual evolution or
Oh, wait.
planetary ascension.
You can't, allegedly, you can't go into that. I ain't gonna talk about that. 11 more people, YouTube. I mean, TikTok. We need 11 more people to go over to Ralph the Wise, right? There's no way I shouldn't get 11 more people right now because I have 29 people in one room and 11 people in another room. We're literally on 2 pages on TikTok. So it's no way I can't get 11 of y'all to go over to Ralph the Wise on YouTube real quick. Just go over and drop a sub. You ain't busy. You not doing nothing. Just go to YouTube, type in Ralph the Wise, and hit the subscription button. It is free. All you got to do is put your vessel in the operation to do it. Excuse me. We need 9 more people. 9 more people, just 9 more people from TikTok to come over to YouTube and hit the subscription button. Just 9 more people. You can be one of those 9 right now. You can be one of those 9 right now. All right. Understand to overstand so you'll never be placed under something. Allow your yoke. We can't talk about the brain. Critical thinking, maybe. Let me see what it's saying. Critical thinking, other deflections. We might be able to get into this. If you want to see what we're talking about,
Critical
go
thinking is the
over
process of
to
actively and skillfully
Ralph
conceptualizing,
DeWise.
applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and evaluating information to reach an answer or conclusion, based on accurate assessment of conditions, context, and proper discernment. In developing greater skills of accurate assessment of the conditions to which we are exposed, we will need to integrate the mental body's critical thinking skills with our heart's intelligence, such as developing our intuitive feelings and higher sensory perception to have higher degree of personal
We need the
clarity.
followers on Ralph
Critical
DeWise.
thinking is not usually conceptualized as a process we should synthesize with our heart's feelings, and most intellectuals will refuse to accept this analogy of critical thinking. However, to have more informed awareness and to achieve coherence within our perceptions of reality, we will be required to merge the heart-brain with the external perception of events, simultaneously. Applying critical thinking in order to develop strong and accurate discernment of events, as well as applying the wisdom based upon our analysis in when to take action or non-action in situations.
I said it's cold outside. I'm gonna have to cuff her. Hit him with that lumber. Hold on, I gotta get some more coffee. Now, I hope you know, if you are coming over to YouTube, we don't just talk about this all day. We laugh and we do we do talk our crap with laughter and stuff. So I do happen to be getting on people over here because they think they're going to push me off this page, or they think they're going to, come at our collective. You ain't coming at our collective. That's the importance of building a collective. When you're building a collective, you have to protect that collective. You have to show that collective that they're safe with you, right? A lot of people build a collective and then tear down the same people that's in their collective. We not doing that. All right. So if you see somebody with a wrench by their name, or if they're part of my Discord, or if they're part of my my collective,